Namaste, Namaskaram, Vanakkam, Namo Namaha, Jai Ganesh. Please visit our website at classicalyoga.org and thank you for your support. From Hinduism to Jesus, from Jesus to New Age and vice versa, navigating through life on the SS Dharma. With today's instant communication, social media, innumerable YouTube videos, it is so readily accessible to see those that are fully immersed in ideologies, philosophies, religions. A simple search will turn up a fundamentalist in any of the religions of the world. Or, on the other extreme, universalists, New Agers. There are even those that flip from one to the other. A vivid example was Doreen Virtue, who for decades was involved in the New Age movement, made lots of money, produced lots of books, and then completely abandoned all of this and switched over to becoming a born-again Christian. And there are also those who were born perhaps into Hinduism and then flipped over and became Christian evangelists. There are many who went from New Age to Christianity and from Christianity to New Age. So it's clear that while we as humans go through these various experiences in our life, if we were not 100% convinced that they were right, would we even do them? And yet, at some point, we may have a complete reversal and go in an opposite direction. Of course, there are also those who, from the get-go, seem to know exactly what to be involved with, whether it be a relationship, a career, a religion. But for many others, it's a game of going back and forth. And again, one would not get involved if one was not 100% convinced that this was a true way. So how do we discern what's true and what's not true? Well, life is a growing process. It's a growth process. Sometimes, if we're not willing to try new things, that can be out of fear. And there can also be the fear of commitment. So we go back and forth. This is what we mean in the Bhajan to Shiva Sada Lola Hara, the truth Sada of the swing Lola of life. The highs, the lows, the ups and downs, the goods, the bad, the sukha, the dukkha, the raga, deveshya, being totally evolved in one quote-unquote truth and then completely flipping and being involved in another quote-unquote truth. This is the life journey, and all of this swing of life from often one extreme to a completely other extreme is what is destroying hara, our ignorance, as we're all on this learning curve. Realizing this swing of life can give great compassion for not only ourselves, but for others as well. So how can we as individuals navigate through the seas of life, the ups and the downs? Well, let's look at some foundational qualities that might be wise for all of us to consider. Critical thinking, which is the need to distinguish between rational and irrational beliefs through logic and a thorough testing of the claims made. Judgment, too, is the ability to make wise decisions. So much for the cliche, do not judge, which is a judgment. The ability to make wise decisions. And what is wisdom? The ability to discern difference, not sameness. In the Hindu Yoga Dharma, We could look at our first darshana or philosophy as the Nyaya philosophy, which is the logic, reason, the logic of logic. And because it's logical, it should stand true across the board. Prataksha, Anumana, Upamana, Sabda, which in English is classic logic of perception, inference, comparison, testimony. This is a wonderful formula to achieve a successful outcome. Perception, inference, comparison, testimony. Prataksha, Anumana, Upamana, Sabda. For example, perception. We first see something. Say you want to buy a car. So you see it. Then you do your homework. The Anumana, the inference. Then you enter into comparison. You compare it with another model. Upamana. And then finally, you may get testimony. You may see someone with a car identical to that, and you ask them, how do you like that car? This is a pretty sure way in most anything in life to come to a fairly safe conclusion. Perceive it, do your homework, do comparison, and then get a testimony. Perception, inference, comparison, testimony. And this is not unlike the scientific method. Is this not the scientific method, where we first ask a question, do background research, do our homework, perception, inference, we construct a hypothesis, we test the hypothesis by doing experiments, double-blind experiments, upamana, comparison, analyze the data and draw a conclusion, sabda, and then we share this with others. So as we navigate through the many, many experiences of life, if we exercise critical thinking, judgment, wisdom, and the logic of logic, we are actually developing a ship, if you will, that's going to help us cross the ocean of life. We are, in a sense, searching for things that are going to hold us together, to help us get through this life journey. Actually, the Sanskrit Hindu word dharma means just that. It comes from the root dri, meaning to hold. And this is no different, actually, than the essential meaning of the word religion, religio, to link. In other words, what is holding us together? What is linking us together? In Hinduism, we also use the word yoga, yuj, to yoke. What is yoking us together? So in life, we have many ships. We have collective ships, our religions, for example. And then we, too, are an individual ship. Now, in collective ships, we want to understand our role. We may work in the engine room. We may do labor. We may work in the galley and provide food. We may be part of the maintenance crew. We may be part of the security crew. We may be on the bridge, guiding the ship. Actually, this is the Varna system in the Hindu yoga dharma, which was obviously perverted into the rigid caste system. And remember, caste is actually a Portuguese word. It's something that Hindus unfortunately adopted. But the original system was called the Varna system. Varna means tone, which means vibration, the way a person vibrates or thinks, what they're naturally attracted to. So in life, we need laborers, we need builders, we need people who construct things. This is what we call the Sudras. Obviously, many people are involved in business, the business of life. These are the Vaishyas. We have security guards, protectors, police, military, the warriors. This is the Kshatriya Varna. And then we have educators, the Brahmins. So in life in general, we find these four natural classifications that actually make societies work. We need all four. We need builders, contractors, laborers. We need business people. We need protectors. We need educators. But also, we all have an individualship. And if we think about it, to one degree or another, we also do all four of these things as we become the captain of our own ship. We do labor. We do work. We could look at this as the legs of our body. We all have to take care of the business of feeding ourselves, taking care of ourselves, the breadbasket, if you will. We also need to protect ourselves and others, the arms. And we also need to learn and educate ourselves, the head. This is what we call the Purusha Sukta, the universal being. So this Varna system is individual and it is collective. So we jump on board our collective ships, our specific religions, if you will, but never forgetting our individual ship. In Hatha Yoga, we sit in Gomukh Asana, which sometimes we call boat pose. You fold one leg on top of the other so the feet are facing backwards and your one knee is on top of the other. So you're making, in a sense, the prow or the bow of a ship, and you sit upright and you become the captain of your own ship. So as Hindus, we are on the SS Dharma, if you will. Spiritual sadhana. Sadhana are the practices. The spirit is the goal. This is why true religion and spirituality always go together. Religion are the practices. Spirit is the goal, which is incorporeal. So it's not the body, mind, and emotions. So literally no body is spiritual. It's the body of religion that helps us to get to the experience of that which is incorporeal. We Hindus call this spirit the Atmana, which also means not mind, and obviously not body or emotions. So if we live in America, we're part of the USS Dharma. United Spiritual Sadhakas. In the nautical world, they use these abbreviations to designate the different types of ships. And obviously, a wonderful study of comparative religions is very illuminating, realizing there are many ships that get people through this life experience. So basically, we want to start with a TS ship, a training ship, which becomes tapas and sadhana for us as Hindus. A merchant ship, MS, more sadhana. A research vessel, RV, Rig Veda, our beginning scriptures. The infamous HMS Titanic, which actually was owned by an American, but had British registry, Her Majesty's ship. And we all know about the now defunct British Empire, which at one time covered 25% of the world. Over time, many became independent and learned to break away from this mother ship, as did India, finally. As we as Hindus must ultimately do, as we now become Hindus doing more sadhana, HMS Dharma. As Hindus, we need to climb aboard the SS Dharma, the ship of Dharma, which is karma, and bhakti, and raja, and jnana, and hatha, and mantra, and japa, and nada, natha, kundalini. This is the ship of the Hindu yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific lifestyle, Hindu Dharma. It's all of those things. And each one of us have a responsibility to be autonomous, strong Hindus working within the ship of Dharma, realizing where we fit in. And always doing our personal sadhanas. This is the beautiful combination of the religious life of community and our own individual life, where we go into our Atmana. Remember, that is the very essence of the Hindu Yoga Dharma. Tattvamasi, that thou art. We are the Atmana, the soul, if you will, of Jyoti Shakti Ananda Shanti, or Satchit Ananda, pure existence, pure energy, pure light, and love, or bliss. Let's go on board the SS Dharma. Let's work for the betterment of our ship while respecting the other ships on this vast ocean of life. Keep one foot in this material world as we learn to navigate through life. And also go in to the cosmic ocean within. From the Rig Veda, Hindu Samudra Idiyarti Vayu Bhir. Hindu with the support, Bhir of the breath, Vayu, Grab a hold, Iddayarti, of the cosmic ocean within Samudra. And Shrivata Swayan Saucha Hindu Brihata, Vaksimha Mahor Bahuha, Antar Kundalini Chakrascha, Antar Idda Pingala, Madha Amritam Indra Madha. Flow on, self-purifying Hindu with expansiveness. Roaring again and again, through the enclosures flow. Into the two world receptacles enter. Let your intoxicating essence inebriate Indra. Indu, Sindhu, Hindu, Chandra Sarid, Soma, Bindu. Ritta Dharma, Vedic Dharma, Yoga Dharma, Sanatan Dharma. Sail on the SS Dharma. Namaste.